must have gone through the calculations of ratios, gaining ratio, sacrificing ratio and new ratio when a partner retires, right? The next step is to calculate or the treatment of goodwill. Just like admission, just recall the admission part, that how we have treated it. The same procedure now we have to follow with a little bit change. Now how to do it, you see. First of all, let us discuss in step wise. First step, what we will do? First step, the existing goodwill if any, that is appearing in the balance sheet, right? Existing goodwill if any to be written off, among whom? Among the old partners in the old issue. Existing goodwill if any, that is existing in the balance sheet, is to be written off among old partners in the old issue. So the entry will be old partners capital account limited. Old partners means including the retiring partner. When I am saying old partners, it means including the retiring partner. The entry will be old partners capital account limited, old partners capital account limited to goodwill account. Old partners capital account limited to goodwill account in old ratio. That is very important. You should remember it. That is old issue. Existing goodwill if any is to be written off among old partners in the old issue. This is the first step. As soon as you start solving the question, first of all, go to the balance sheet, and if goodwill is existing there in the asset side, write it off among old partners in the old issue. And old partners means including the retiring partner. Second step, we have to calculate the value of goodwill, firm's goodwill, value of the firm's goodwill if not given. What does it mean? Sometime in the questions it will be clearly in clear terms it will be given that the value of goodwill is how much on the date of retirement. On the date of the retirement of the partner, what will be the value of goodwill? It will be given in the question. But it may so happen that you will be given some information, right, like profit or weights, etc., and you will be asked to calculate the goodwill as well. Like how to calculate? We can apply different methods, like we have already done. That is average profit method, super profit method, capitalization method. We have already done it. So either it will be directly given in the question, or we have to apply the different methods to calculate the goodwill on the date of retirement of a partner. That is the second step. But the third step, is to calculate the retiring partner's share. Calculate the retiring partner's share. I will work it out with a practical question. Everything I will explain. Calculate the retiring partner's share in the firm's goodwill. Right. So we have to calculate the value of goodwill, that is the share of goodwill of the retiring partner. We have to calculate the share of goodwill of the retiring partner. Right. That's the third step. Then what will the fourth step? Next step is to calculate. The fourth step is to calculate the new ratio and gaining ratio. Gaining or sacrificing ratio. Right? This is what we will calculate. Next, what will happen? The gaining partner has to compensate the sacrificing partner or partners. The entry will be gaining partners capital account limited. Gaining partner capital account debit to sacrificing partner or partners capital account. Sometimes what happens, here the sacrificing partner is the retiring partner. In this case, the sacrificing partner is normally the retiring partner. But sometimes it may so happen, apart from the retiring partner, one of another partner also sacrifices. Due to the change in ratios, the one of the other partner, he may also sacrifice. In that case, the gaining partner has to compensate the retiring partner, the outgoing partner, as well as the sacrificed continuing partner, the partner who is continuing but he has sacrificed. So that has to be taken care of, right? So these are the steps we should follow while we are going to treat the goodwill. But apart from that, in case of CBSE, there is one more option is there, one more case is there, though it is not very popular and you are always advised not to adopt it unless and until it is specifically given in the question. Now what is it? Let us see. As in case of admission, we have already gone through, that is raising of goodwill and then immediately writing it off, right? But in case of retirement also, particularly in CBSE, this method is existing, though it is advisable not to go for the treatment unless and until it is specifically mentioned. So in this case what will happen, it is given that goodwill is raised and written off. Here what we will do, first we have to raise the goodwill, so the entry will be goodwill account debited when it is raised. Goodwill account debited to old partners capital account. Goodwill account debited to old partners capital account. When I am talking about old partners, means it is inclusive of the retiring partner. Old partners capital account in the old ratio. Right? Goodwill account debited to old partners capital account in the old issue. Remember, when I am talking about old partners means it includes the retiring partners also. And when you have raised it, immediately write it off, and for that you need not to go for any specific instructions. If it is raised, immediately you have to write off. Right? And at that time the entry will be continuing partners capital account debited, that is continuing partners capital account debit, right? Continuing partners capital account debited to goodwill account. This is writing off of the raised goodwill. Writing off of the raised goodwill in the new ratio. Right? Writing off of the raised goodwill in the new ratio. This is one case when goodwill is raised and written off. Another case is here. Suppose it is exclusively given that we have to raise the retiring partner share only. In that case, what we will do? In that case, what we will do? That is, first entry will be goodwill account debited to retiring partners capital account. To retiring partners capital account. Only is there. Retiring partners capital account. Right? That to write it off. How to write it off? Gaining partners capital account debited. Gaining partners capital account debit. We will explain it with the help of a question. Gaining partners capital account debit to goodwill account in the gaining ratio. Right? So these two methods, that is raising and writing it off, it is always advisable not to follow it unless and until it is specifically given. So now let us explain the details whatever we have discussed so far with the help of an example. Now let us work out one comprehensive question. Just see. ABC are partners in the ratio of 3:2:1. ABC are partners in the ratio of 3:2:1. C retires and the new ratio is agreed at 1:2. So we are provided with the old ratio as well as the new ratio. It is also given. Goodwill existing means appearing in the books of accounts, that is in the balance sheet, on the date of retirement was 20,000 and goodwill is valued at 60,000. That is, on the date of retirement, the goodwill is separately valued at 60,000. Now the question is, first one, you have to pass necessary journal entries when goodwill account is not to be raised. When goodwill account is not to be raised, and second one, when goodwill account is raised in full and written off. Right? So let us write it. Now let us calculate the, first of all let us calculate the ratios. Old ratio is given 3:2:1. It is given. New ratio between A and B, because C retired, the new ratio is also given, that is 1:2. Now let us calculate the gaining or sacrificing ratio. A was getting 3/6 old ratio, now he is getting 1/3, means A is sacrificing 3/18. A was getting 3/6, now he is getting 1/3, means A is sacrificing 3/18. B was getting 2/6, now he is getting 2/3, means B is gaining 6/18. Right? So C is retired. C retired, and out of the two partners, that is A and B also gained. And that means C will be compensated. C will be compensated because he is retiring. A will be compensated because he is sacrificing. And who will compensate? The gaining partner. In this case, B is the gaining partner. Means B has to compensate both A and C. Now let us calculate the respective shares. Now the goodwill is valued at 60,000. It is given. Here it is given. Either it will be directly given, or it will be provided with the information to calculate the value of goodwill. So compensation to be paid by B, because B is gaining partner, will be how much? 60,000 into 6/18, that is 20,000 rupees. Right? Compensation to be paid to. Here is compensation to be paid by. Here compensation to be paid to A. Compensation paid to be paid to A is sacrificing 3/18 to 60,000 into 3/18, it comes to 10,000. Now retiring partner share in goodwill, which is to be compensated by the gaining partner, that is B, it will be 60,000 into 1/6, that is 10,000. Right? So now we will pass the necessary journal entries. Now the existing goodwill is how much? Existing goodwill is, that is 20,000. Existing goodwill is 20,000. So first of all, what we will do? We have to write it off. First, existing goodwill to be written off. The entry will be old partners capital account debited, that is A's capital account debited, for writing off of existing goodwill. This is the journal entry for writing off of existing goodwill. A's capital account debited, right? B's capital account debited, A's capital account debited, B's capital account debited, C's capital account debited to goodwill account, the existing one. Existing goodwill is how much? It is 20,000, and in the old ratio. Old ratio is how much? Old ratio given is 3:2:1. Old ratio given is 3:2:1. So now we have to distribute it. That is old ratio is to be written off. It will be 3:2:1. That is 20,000 divided by 6. So A will be debited with 10,000. B that is 6,667, and C that is 3,333 rupees. So existing goodwill is to be written off first, right? Thereafter, the question says that when goodwill is not to be raised. Now you see, now in this case, B will compensate A and C. B will compensate A and C. So the entry for compensation will be, that is, B will compensate, so the entry will be B's capital account debited, B's capital account debited. How much? He has to compensate 20,000 to A's capital account, because he has sacrificed, so if he need to be compensated 10,000, we have calculated it, and to C's capital account, because he is the retiring partner, this one is to be compensated 10,000. Right? So when goodwill is not to be raised, the entry will be B's capital account debited to A's capital to C's capital. Next. Now in the second case, it is given that when goodwill is raised in full and written off. Right? Now just see and compare it with the previous workings. To raise the goodwill, the entry will be goodwill account debited to old partner's capital account, that is inclusive of the remaining partner in the old issue. So 60,000 rupees will be credited in the ratio 3:2:1. So as soon as we have raised, immediately we have to write it off, and we have to write it off among continuing partners in the new ratio. So the entry will be A's capital account debited, B's capital account debited to goodwill, and the new ratio is 1:2. 1:2. Now what is the net effect you see? A's capital account is credited with 30,000. A's capital account is credited with 30,000 and debited with 20,000. So net effect is A's capital account is credited with 10,000. And B's capital account is credited with 20,000 but debited with 40,000. So his account is debited by 20,000. And now C will get 10,000 rupees. So ultimately the entry remains same, that B will compensate both A and B. A and C, sorry. Sometime in the question, the goodwill and its treatment may not be directly given, or you may not have direct information to ascertain the value of goodwill. At that time, we have to calculate the goodwill by with the help of some other methods, that is known as hidden goodwill, which is not directly given in the question. Now how to treat it with the C, and I have tried my best to explain it with the help of an example. A, B, C are partners in the ratio 1:2:3. It is given. C retires, and when he retires, his capital, after making all adjustments, we have made all adjustments such as general reserve, the reserve, accrued reserves and per share profits, then revaluation profit and losses, and other adjustments, everything we have made, and the capital is estimated at 2,20,000 rupees. Means we need to pay 2,20,000 rupees to C in full settlement. However, A and B agreed to pay him, the continuing partner, they agreed to pay him 2,50,000 rupees instead of 2,20,000. Instead of 2,20,000, they agreed to pay 2,50,000 rupees in full settlement of his claim. Right? So first of all, just think that C was supposed to receive 2,20,000, but now the continuing partner then agreed to pay 2,50,000. Why so? That they are paying that excess amount 30,000 rupees because it is nothing but it is the share of goodwill for C. It is nothing but it is the share of goodwill for C. Right? So now we have to pass necessary journal entries. Let us see. First of all, calculate the gaining ratio. Now you see, A is getting 1/4, and he was getting 1/6. A is getting 1/4 at present, and that is the new ratio, and A was getting 1/6. Means he is gaining 2/24. That is 1/12. Right? B is getting 3/4 and he was getting 2/6. That is 10/24. So the gaining ratio is 2:10. That is 1:5. This is the gaining ratio. So the goodwill amount due to C, that is goodwill amount due to C, this is the gaining ratio, this one. The goodwill amount of C, that is 30,000 rupees, 2,20,000 and 2,50,000, that is to be paid by whom? Paid by A and B in the ratio 1:5. Now let us see how to calculate it. The estimated amount is how much? Estimated capital of C is equal to 2,20,000. So estimated capital of C is equal to 2,20,000, but settled amount is how much? Settlement amount or amount agreed to be paid settlement amount is 2,50,000, right? So share of goodwill will be share of goodwill is equal to the difference amount, that is 30,000 rupees, and he will be paid by whom? He will be paid by A and B, right? So the entry will be A's capital account debited, A's capital account debit, B's, you have to write it in format, proper format. B's capital account debited to C's capital account. How much it is? C will be getting 30,000 rupees. And this 30,000 rupees will be paid by A and B in the ratio 1:5. So A will pay 5,000 and B will pay 25,000. So this is all about the treatment of goodwill at the time of retirement of a partner. Again I am telling you, if you have followed that admission part properly, if you have gone through properly, then it will be very easy to you to go through all these things. Very easy. But admission part is very important. Unless and until you understand it in a proper way, it will be very difficult to absorb the rest. So that is why if you have not done the admission part, please go through it again. Therefore we will continue this one. That will be better for you. Right? Next. After goodwill, next one is treatment of accumulated reserves and reserves, profits and losses. As we have discussed at the time of admission, exactly the same way that the treatment of accumulated reserves and profits. In case of admission, the new partner has to compensate the sacrificing partners, right? But exactly the same way in case of retirement, the gaining partner, they have to compensate the sacrificing partners, right? So what we will do, the accumulated reserves and profits which are not to be distributed, there are some reserves, there are some reserves, they are statutory reserves are there. There are some reserves, they are statutory in nature, like provident fund, machinery replacement fund, they are the statutory reserves and they cannot be distributed. Otherwise, all the remaining reserves and profits such as general reserve, contingency reserve, profit and loss account, credit balance, right? Workman compensation reserve, the unclaimed portion, then investment fluctuation reserve, the unused portion. Then similarly, these are the profits, accumulated profits or reserves. They need to be distributed or they need to be credited to old partners' capital account in the old issue exit. Old partners, when I am saying old partners means it includes the retiring partner as well. Similarly, the accumulated losses such as profit and loss account, debit balance, advertisement suspense account, these accumulated losses similarly are to be debited to the old partners, including the retiring partner, old partners capital account in the old issue, right? As we have discussed at the time of admission, the same treatment, same entries will be there. We will discuss it with a question, right? And at the time of admission, we have discussed one point was there when the partners, they decided not to change the values of the existing assets and liabilities or the values of the assets and liabilities. The same way here also the partners can decide it and the necessary treatments are to be made with effect to give the effect of the decisions, right? So now let us work out one question and it will be helpful for you. So to give the effect of the treatment of as accumulated reserves and profits, we have framed a question. Now ABC are partners in the ratio of 5:3:2. B retires and their balance sheet on the date of retirement, this is an extract of the balance sheet. On the liability side, it is given general reserve 20,000, profit and loss 15,000, workman compensation reserve 30,000, investment fluctuation reserve 10,000, and on the asset side there is advertisement suspense 10,000 and investment is 50,000. It is also given that the claim against WCR, that is workman compensation reserve, is 10,000 and market value of investment is rupees 1 lakh. Now we have to show the treatment. Now, as in case of admission, whatever we have done, the same way here also we have to do. What we will do? The accumulated reserves and profits are to be distributed among old partners in the old ratio, including the retiring partner. So the entry will be general reserve account debited, general reserve account debit, that is 20,000. You have to write it in the proper format. profit and loss account debit, profit and loss account debited, that is 15,000. Workmen compensation reserve account debit. Now out of the total reserve 30,000, 10,000 was claimed, so remaining 20,000 need to be distributed among the partners. Investment fluctuation reserve, it is totally unused because the book value of the investment is 1 lakh. So that total reserve, investment fluctuation reserve, will be credited to old partners in the old ratio, that is 10,000. To A's capital account, to B's capital account, and to C's capital account. Right? So it will be in the ratio 5:3:2. So this is how much? 30, 50, 50, 65,000. So 6,500 into 2, C will get 13,000. Then 19,500 and 32,500 rupees will be credited to A's capital account. Right? This is all about the accumulated profits. And now accumulated loss, here only one loss is there, that is advertisement suspense. So that is to be debited to partners capital account. At that time the entry will be A's capital account debited, A's capital account debited, B's capital account debited, C's capital account debit, to, that is advertisement suspense account. Right? So that 10,000 rupees will be distributed among the old partners in the old ratio, that is 5,000, 3,000 and 2,000 respectively. So thereafter, if you will prepare the balance sheet, the advertisement suspense will not be there. General reserve, profit and loss, workman compensation reserve and investment fluctuation reserve will not be there. And instead of workman compensation reserve, there will be workman compensation claim, that is for 10,000. Right? But sometimes it may so happen, suppose in this case, the partners, the continuing partners, that is B, A and C, they will decide that we will not disturb general reserve. Suppose the partners, they decided that we will not disturb general reserve. Means in the new balance sheet, general reserve will be shown at 20,000 itself. At that time, what we will do? So in that case, first of all, let us calculate the gaining and sacrificing ratio. In that case, first you calculate the share. Now see, the old ratio between A, B and C was 5:3:2. Right? Now B retires. So the new ratio between A and C, will be 5:2. Right? So now we calculate the gaining ratio. Say A is getting 5/7. Previously was getting 5/10. Now C is getting 2/7 and he was getting 2/10. So here now A is gaining 50 minus 35, 15/70, and B is gaining 20 minus 14, 6/70. Means the gaining ratio is 15:6, that is 5:2. Now, since we have decided not to disturb general reserve, the sacrificing partner, that is B, he need to be compensated. Compensated by whom? Compensated by the gaining partner. Now, B's share in general reserve will be how much? B's share in general reserve is equal to, that is 20,000 into his share, that is 3/10. Right? So it will be 6,000 rupees. Now this 6,000 rupees will be compensated by A and C in the ratio 5:2, and the entry will be A's capital account debited. A's capital account debited, that is 6,000 into 5/7. B's capital account debited. B's capital account debited. to, sorry, C's capital account debited to B's capital account. Right? So A will compensate how much? 6,000 into this one, 5 by 7. C will compensate 6,000 into 2 by 7. You should not write in this way. You have to write the figures, and B will be credited with 6,000 rupees. If this be the case, in the new balance sheet, the general reserve will be shown at 20,000. Next, the treatment of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities in case of retirement is just same as in case of admission. Right? The same way we have to treat the assets and liabilities. That is, increase in assets is to be debited, so the entry will be assets account debited to revaluation account, and increase in liabilities, it will be credited, entry will be revaluation account debited to liabilities account. Right? Now, what we have done here, instead of giving the full question, because the entire method is same, now you see, A, B, C are partners in the ratio 3:2:1, B retired, and the new ratio is agreed at 5:3. On the date of retirement, the revaluation account shows, we have, instead of giving the full questions, we have just given the effects, the net effects. The source, the profit, in first case, the profit is 30,000, and in the second case, the loss is 18,000. So there are two questions here. So first one is profit and second one is loss. We will treat it separately. Past necessary journal entries when the partners have decided to record the revised value of assets and liabilities. Revised value means revalued figures. And second one, when the partners decided not to change or not to show the change of the change, or not to show the change in the revaluation of assets and liabilities, or we can say not to disturb the value of assets and liabilities. That is, the old values will continue. Right? So now we just see how to treat it in case of profit. In case of profit, suppose that the partners have decided to record the revised value. In that case, what we will do? The profit will be distributed among old partners in the old ratio. And at that time, the entry will be revaluation account debited to old partner. That is A's capital account, B's capital account, and to C's capital account. This profit 30,000 in the ratio 3:2:1. So A will be credited with 15,000, B will be credited with 10,000, and C will be credited with 5,000. And if this be the case, in the new balance sheet of A and C, the values of assets and liabilities will be shown at the revised value or revalued figures. Right? When there is a profit. But in case of loss, what will happen? In case of loss, just the entry will be reversed, and the entry will be A's capital account debited, B's capital account debited, C's capital account debited to revaluation account, and that 18,000 rupees will be distributed in the ratio 3:2:1. That is 9,000, 6,000, and 3,000. And if this be the case, again the assets and liabilities are to be shown at their revalued figure or the revised figure in the new balance sheet. So we have discussed the first case is in case of profit and in case of loss. The second one, when the partners have decided not to show the changes. Now you see what we will do. If the partners have decided not to show the changes, what we will do? First of all, let us calculate the gaining and sacrificing ratio. Now you see, A is getting, the new ratio is, A is getting 5/8, and A was getting how much? 3/6. Right? B is getting 3/8, C is getting 3/8, and C was getting 1/6. So A is gaining 6 by 48 and C is gaining 10 by 48. Right? So the gaining ratio is equal to 6:10, that is 3:5. Right? The gaining ratio is 6:10 or 3:5. So in this case, when the partners have decided not to change the value, remember what we used to prepare? We used to prepare a statement instead of revaluation account. We used to prepare a statement to find out the profit or loss. Suppose we have prepared the statement and the profit shows 30,000 and the partners have decided not to change the value. Right? So at the what will happen? The gaining partner will compensate the sacrificing partner. In case of addition, we have done how we have done it. The gaining partner, that is the A, the incoming partner, compensated the sacrificing partner, that is B and C. Exactly the same way here, the gaining partner has to compensate the sacrificing partner. And how much? What is his share? Now you see, the revaluation profit is 30,000. Revaluation profit is 30,000, and the retaining partner share is 2 by 6. Means he is gaining how much? 10,000 rupees. He is to get 10,000 rupees. Now these two partners, that is the gaining partners A and C, they have to compensate B. The entry will be A's capital account debited. A's capital account debited, that is 10,000 into 3 by 8. This one 3 by 8. C's capital account debited. You don't write in this way, you write the full figure. The net figure, that is 5 by 8 to B's capital account, that is 10,000. And when this be the case, in the new balance sheet, assets and liabilities remain as before. Right? There will be no change in the value of assets and liabilities. Now this is in case of profit. But in case of loss, what will happen? In case of loss, the C. In case of loss, the share of loss is how much? That is, retaining partner share of loss is B's share of loss. B's share of loss is equal to how much? B's share of loss is 18,000 into 2 by 6, that is 6,000. Now in future, this loss is to be borne by whom? That is to be borne by A and C. So now the retiring partner or the sacrificing partner, he has to compensate the gaining partners. Right? The sacrificing partner has to compensate the gaining partner. And the entry will be B's capital account debited. B's capital account debited to A's capital account to C's capital account. And now the amount will be, B's capital account will be debited with 6,000 rupees. That is the share of loss. A will be credited with 6,000 into 3 by 8 and B will be credited with 6,000 into 5 by 8. C will be credited with 6,000 into 5 by 8. Right? Next. Another important aspect while dealing with or working out the questions on retirement is to calculate the proportionate profit payable to the retiring partner. If the retiring partner retires on the very first day, then there will be no chance of paying any profit. Right? And if PTAP is retiring at the end of the year, accounting year, then also there will be no problem. But sometimes what happens, the retiring partner, he may retire in between, that is mid of the year or some other date. Right? At that time the question arises how to calculate and what will be the treatment of the profit. Now, first just go to the question. ABC are partners in the ratio of 3:2:1. B retires on 1st December 2017. We know that year ends on 31st March 2018, but he retires on 1st December 2017. That is 4 months before the closing date. Right? Show the treatment of share of profit payable to B in each of the following cases. We have framed three different cases. In the first case, profit up to the date of retirement is 90,000. Means here it is exactly given that up to the date of retirement, that is up to 1st December 2017, the total profit is 90,000. So here we need not to calculate, it is already given. Number one. Number two, profit as on 31st March 18, that is after 4 months, the profit is given 1,20,000. In this case, what will happen? If since nothing, no clearly it is not given that what is the profit up to 1st December 2017, we have to presume that the profit throughout the year is evenly spreaded. That is, every month the total profit comes to 10,000. Accordingly, we will calculate. And the third one is, it is based on the turnover. Turnover means sales. Now let us see. This is the first part, how to calculate the profit. Second one, who will pay him and how it is to be paid. Remember, if the profit sharing ratio of the continuing partner does not change, if the profit sharing ratio of the continuing partner does not change, in that case, the profit will be credited to retiring partner's capital account through suspense account. Right? At that time it will be through suspense account. Now I will show the calculation as well as the journal entries. Now in the first case you see the profit up to the date of retirement is 90,000 and B is retiring and B's share is 2/6. So in the case 1, the share of profit due to B, will be how much? That is, total profit is 90,000, that is up to the date of retirement, into his share, that is 2/6. So this comes to 30,000 rupees. This comes to 30,000. Right? So this is the amount to be credited to retiring partner's capital account, and at that time the journal entry will be profit and loss suspense account debited. Profit and loss suspense account debited to retiring partner's capital account, to B's capital account. That is 30,000. Right? So you have to pass the entry only if you are asked to pass. So if this be the entry, the capital account will be credited with 30,000 and this profit and loss suspense account will be shown in the balance sheet asset side. Profit and loss suspense account 30,000 rupees. Is it clear? It will be shown in the balance sheet asset side. This is the case 1, when the profit up to the date of retirement is clearly given. Now come to the second case. In the second case it is given that the profit up to the end of the accounting year, that is up to 31st March 2018 is given 1,20,000. At that time what we will do? The only change is we have to calculate the proportionate profit. Now how it is to be calculated? Now see, profit for 12 months. Profit for 12 months, that is up to 31st March 2018 is equal to 1,20,000. Right? So the partner retired on 1st December, that is after 8 months. So profit up to the date of retirement, will be how much? It will be 1,20,000 was for 12 months. How much is for 8 months? Right? It will be 80,000 rupees. And now we will calculate the share of B. Now share of B will be how much? Share of B is equal to 80,000 divided by 6 into 2. It comes to 26,667. The entry remains same. 26,667 and the entry remains same, and it is also to be shown in the balance sheet asset side. Right? Now the third case. In the third case, it is to be calculated on the turnover basis. On the turnover basis means on the basis of sales. Now you see the question says in clear term it is given the turnover of 31st March 2017. So turnover up to 31st March 2017 was how much? It is given 4,50,000. Then profit also given. Profit as on 31st March 2017 it is given 90,000. Right? So the percentage of profit to turnover or to sales is equal to the profit by turnover into 100. This is equal to 20%. Now be retired on 1st December and the turnover up to 1st December is turnover up to 1st December 2017 is equal to, it is given 3 lakh rupees. Right? So the profit up to 1st December would be 3 lakh into 20%. It comes to 60,000. Right? And thereafter calculate his share. So B's share of profit is equal to 60,000 into 2 by 6, that is 20,000 rupees. So B is to pay 20,000 and the remaining treatment, the journal entry and the to be shown in the balance sheet asset side, it is as before. In the first case, we have shown that how it is to be treated when the profit sharing ratio between the old partners, continuing partners, does not change. At that time, what has happened? The proportional profit has been credited to the retiring partner's capital account, and the debit was given to the profit or suspense account. Now, suppose the profit sharing ratio among the continuing partners it changes. Now, as in this case, we have given. Now, if the profit sharing ratio changes, say between the new ratio between A and C is equal to 1:2. Now what happened? A was getting 3 by 6, now is getting 1 by 3. Thus he is sacrificing 3 by 18. C was getting 1 by 6, now is getting 2 by 3. So he is gaining 9 by 18 and B is as such he is a retiring partner, so he is sacrificing 6 by 18. In this case what will happen? We have to calculate the proportional profit of C. Not only that, we have to calculate the proportional profit of B and the sacrifice made by A also, and he is to be compensated by who? He is to be compensated by C. So suppose if this, I will work out this with this question. In that case what will happen? Now C will pay C's capital account debited because he is gaining C's capital account debited to B's capital account because he is the sacrificing partner, and to A's capital account because he is also sacrificing. Right? So now what will happen? Now this will be, see, B's capital account will be credited with how much? The total profit is 90,000. So 90,000 into 6 by 18, that is 30,000 rupees, and A will also be credited, that is 90,000 into 3 by 18, that is 45,000, and now 15,000, sorry, and C will be debited by 45,000. So this is possible only if the partnership, the ratio between the existing partner changes. In that, at that time, the gaining partner has to compensate the sacrificing partners. Right?